we also have hormonal contraceptives. So these contraceptives contains estrogen and progestin, pero pwede din na progestin lang siya. So, hormonal contraceptives are available in different preparations such as oral pills, long-acting injections, subcutaneous implants, transdermal patches, vaginal rings, and IUD or intrauterine devices. So, we have different types of oral contraceptives. These are combination, estrogen, progestin, tablets. So, these tablets must be taken in constant dosage throughout menstrual cycle. These are also called as monophasic preparation. Next is we have combination preparation. Combination preparation siya kasi i-combine yung progestin and estrogen sa isang dosage lang. Pwede mo din na isa-isa lang gamitin ng pwede progestin lang or estrogen lang, pero i-interchange mo sila sa isang month. So, this combination preparation is also called as biphasic, triphasic, and quadriphasic. It can mimic the hormonal effects of endogenous hormones in the body. Next is we have progestin-only preparations. So, ang progestin-only, same siya sa monophasic, isa lang. Next, we have the postcoital contraception. So, this postcoital contraception is also called as emergency contraception. It can prevent the pregnancy if administered with 72 hours after unprotected intercourse. Pag ano-ano kayo dyan, after 72 hours, pag nag-inom ka ng postcoital contraception, it can prevent the pregnancy. So, the most effective postcoital contraception is the use of combination preparation. Yun yung i-combine mo yung estrogen with progestin na oral preparation. Pero pwede rin siya estrogen only or progestin only. Kung progestin only lang siya, mas lesser yung side effects kesa sa estrogen. Next, we have the mechanism of action. So, di ba, ang mga contraceptives naman, usually known para i-prevent yung pagbubuntis, di ba? So, mechanism of action is inhibition of ovulation. So, the inhibition of ovulation, ito yung primary action gid ng mga contraceptive. Next is, it decreases the likelihood of fertilization and implantation. So, ma-decrease niya ang fertilization and implantation through the mucous gland, the uterus tube, and endometrium. Next is the progestin-only agents. Yung mechanism of action ng progestin-only agents is hindi siya doon sa pag-inhibit ng ovulation, kundi doon lang siya sa pag-decrease ng fertilization and implantation. Next, we have the clinical uses and beneficial effects of the combination hormonal contraceptives. So, this is used in young women. In young women with hypogonadism, because these combination hormonal contraceptives help in preventing estrogen deficiency. So, useful sila sa mga young women na may hypogonadism. Next is, this combination hormonal contraceptive act as a treatment or used as a treatment. Treatment for acne, hirsutism, and dysmenorrhea. Di ba ang dysmenorrhea common siya for girls? So, pwede gamitin ang combination hormonal contraceptives. Next is, users of combination hormonal contraceptives have reduced risk of ovarian cyst. So, kung gumagamit ka ng combination hormonal contraceptive, ang risk mo para sa ovarian cyst is mas lesser. Tapos, yung risk mo sa ovarian cancer, sa benign breast disease, and pelvic inflammatory disease kay mas lesser siya. So, Helpful siya kasi kina-reduce niya yung risk sa ovarian cyst, ovarian cancer, and breast diseases, and other inflammatory disease. So, for the toxicity, the incidence of dose-dependent toxicity has fallen since the introduction of the low-dose combined oral contraceptive. So, diba, pag sinabi natin toxicity siya, parang kung sobra na yung paggamit mo, parang hindi na siya maganda. Kung kulang naman, hindi naman maganda. So, we have thromboembolism. Pag sinabing thromboembolism, related siya sa sa pag-clot ng blood sa vein. So, ang combination hormonal contraceptive is makakause siya ng clotting sa blood. So, this is considered as the major toxic effect of the CHC or combination hormonal contraceptive. Makuha mo siya, ang thromboembolism, sa pwede kung older women ka na post-menopausal, pwede rin kung may mga bisyo ka, alcoholic ka, or smoker ka, and then pwede din siya sa family history nyo or genetics. So, for the next toxicity, we have the breast cancer. So, ang breast cancer, ma-affect niya yung mga past user or current user ng combination hormonal contraceptive. So, kahit di mo na siya ginagamit ngayon, may risk ka pa rin para magkaroon ka ng breast cancer kung sobra-sobra na yung paggamit mo. Next, we have the other toxicities. For other toxicities, ang low dose or kulang ka sa dose ng contraceptive na to, ng combination hormonal contraceptive, makakause siya ng bleeding kasi 'di ba may dose man na recommended. Kung hindi mo yun nasunod, kung sobra, kung kulang, mayroon talagang parang disadvantage or toxicity na mangyayari. So, makakause din siya ng hysteria, headache, and depression. Yung mga preparation na mas madami ang ingredient na androgenic progestin, kaya makakause sila ng weight gain, ng hirsutism, and acne. Diba pwede siya magamit as treatment, pero pwede din siya magamit na makakause ng toxicity kung sobra-sobra na. So, for clinical applications, pwede siya magamit sa hypogonadism in girls, hormone replacement therapy, oral contraceptive, and so on and so forth. So, we also have the anti-estrogen and anti-progestins. So, for anti-estrogens, we have selective estrogen receptor modulators, or known as SERMs. So, these are mixed estrogen agonists. Pag sinabing mixed estrogen agonist, hindi lang siya agonist, pwede siyang mag-act as partial agonist, partial antagonist sa other tissues. So, first, for SERMs, we have tamoxifen. So, ang tamoxifen. So, ang tamoxifen, it is used as a treatment of hormone-responsive breast cancer. So, ginagamit siya as treatment sa breast cancer. It also acts as antagonist to prevent activation of endogenous estrogen. Kita ang SERMs, hindi lang siya agonist, pwede siya maging partial antagonist, partial agonist. So, ang tamoxifen also causes hot flushes, antagonist effect niya, or increases the risk of venous thrombosis, an agonist effect. So, it has more agonist effect rather than antagonist effect. So, ang agonist effect niya kay doon lang siya ma-apply sa mga bone tissues. So, helpful siya sa pag-prevent ng osteoporosis sa mga post-menopausal women. So, ang tamoxifen, may other drugs na with same indication, same properties sa kanya. Yun yung toremifen. 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 Toremifene.